On today's show, we are talking about some more of the books that we've been reading. Okay, so we read a lot of books. Some of them don't necessarily fit very well into the show week in, week out, so we like to do this segment that we call What We've Been Reading.
And Dan,
yeah?
normally
Yeah?
you do the intros for this,
Okay.
and you kick us off. So I'm going to interject midway through your intro, and I'm going to say, Dan, what have you been reading?
Wow, I'm very excited.
So am I. Because I see this, and I'm excited.
Okay, well that's later.
I know.
That's my indie.
So you have a little, you have a tights.
I've got some tights first. So we both very recently enjoyed the first trade of Superior Spider-Man.
Oh, I know what you've read.
And since then, I don't know, I've had this itch for Spider-Man. I keep checking Amazon to see when Superior's coming back out.
Team-up action, maybe?
I've also had an itch for some team-up action, right?
Team-up?
Avenging Spider-Man by Zeb Wells.
Yep.
I've seen this around and about the comic book shop for months, but for whatever reason, me just not feeling like Spider-Man, having not read him for a while, and just
Didn't jump in on that number one either, which is always
wasn't there on the number one. So
I have an issue of it.
Really?
Yeah, it was part of the Omega Effect.
It was
with Daredevil and Punisher.
So it was. So I've read that.
Yeah.
And so I'd seen it, and I'd seen some artwork, and I just thought it looks fun. I really like the look of it. And after reading Superior Spider-Man Team Up, which is the reboot of it, I just felt there's something I need to read. So I was on the train home one day, and I bought one of the issues online, and my God, is this some fun?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. I read issues 1 to 5. I blitzed through them.
Who'd we team up with?
Okay, so issue 1 and 2, and possibly 3, I believe, is a Red Hulk team up. So
Interesting.
the whole thing is Spider-Man's sort of tracked away from New York, and he needs to get back because he's seen on the news the shit's going down. And he's like, okay, I need a lift. And everyone's like, not it. And everyone's like, you'd be okay with Red Hulk, won't you? And he's like, and then so they have this conversation. And Spider-Man's like, so what are we going to do? You're going to strap me on your back? And he's going, oh no, you're going to grab me by the wrist. Like, and he just jumps off as Spider-Man trailing behind him. And it's that kind of humor. It's that kind of poppy jump about humor. Yeah. It's very, very lighthearted. It's very fun. The first issue, it escapes me who that first arc is drawn by, but
is it by the guy who's currently drawing Savage Wolverine that we've really enjoyed?
No, Joe Midorian or something like that.
That's a very epic sounding name.
Yeah,
Joe Midorian.
Yeah, I don't think that's his name. And then,
but you know, there's someone watching the show who's like, they think my name's epic. Joe Midorian.
And then Hawkeye team up, and then the last one I read was a Captain America team up. So,
some A-listers in there.
Yeah, a lot of Avengers. It's honestly, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
Like, all the comedy from Superior Spider-Man is in there, and it's just great.
Yeah.
It's so lighthearted. I love the way it's colored. Especially that early arc, Joe Midorian, just these poppy, bright, exciting colors.
Yeah.
You know, feels sort of Samney-esque. It is a great read. I had a great time with it, and I might pick up the trades. I might.
Yeah.
I might.
Go for
or I might
it.
just keep reading it online. Who knows?
Do both. Cool. So I mean, going from lighthearted, one of the surprise books for us during the whole Marvel Now relaunch was Uncanny X-Force. We both thoroughly enjoyed it.
God, that was ages ago. Is it the first trade of that yet?
First trade came out a couple of weeks ago,
okay.
And I was all like, I'm on it. Went to the shop, went to pick it up, and as I picked it up, my brain went, well, hang on a second, Mr. Brody.
No.
Let's pull it back. You haven't read the critically acclaimed Uncanny X-Force by Rick Remender.
Despite the fact that for the last fucking 8 months I've been like, read Uncanny X-Force, read Uncanny X-Force.
So, I got Uncanny X-Force, innit?
Yeah.
The first volume is written by Remender and it is illustrated by Opena, who drew those first 3 beautiful issues of the Avengers.
He did indeed.
That were absolutely stunning, and this book is no different. It is just a visual delight to look at. The first volume follows the team, the X-Force team, assembled by Wolverine, and on there you've got Deadpool, Archangel / Warren. He's kind of all of them at the moment. Psylocke and Phantom X. I knew zero about Phantom X, and by the end of this book, you're just like, well, he's one of my favourites now. He's got a bit of a gambit.
Bamf.
Say again?
Bamf.
He's Bamf. He's got a very Gambit-esque vibe to the team. He's the fake Frenchman. Likes his wines, likes his cheese, likes his women.
In that order as well.
In that order. So I didn't have to do sound effects. So I read that and it was absolutely fantastic. So what did I do? It's like, okay, let's get volume 2 as well. And volume 2 is drawn by Esad Ribic. Got it right.
Yeah.
Got it right for once. Which is also fantastic.
Yeah.
He's been drawing Thor: God of Thunder, which I love the look of. So 2 great artists, 2 fantastic books that get better. And the dynamics in the team are fantastic. Deadpool is hilarious. I mean, I opened this book up and was like, all right, before I buy it, let's see how I'm going to feel about this. And the first page I landed on was Deadpool going, how do you kill a circus? Go for the jugular. It's like, yeah, well, I'm buying this book.
Deadpool's perfect in this. The perfect amount of Deadpool.
But he's also, it's the most human Deadpool I've seen. We get a lot of, this is your favourite, a lot of downtime with Deadpool, which is great to see. And, a lot of, I kind of want to say B-list villains in this. Lady Deathstrike, who's one of my favourites from the 90s, Wolverine comics that I grew up on, and Deathlock plays a big role in this, and obviously Apocalypse plays a huge role in this. So, thoroughly enjoying X-Force. I'm going to continue to buy them, and I will continue to let you guys know over on Twitter, @ComicBookShow on, how I'm finding them.
Nice.
That wasn't bad, that, was it? Nice little plug.
Slip it in.
Yeah. What's your last book to show today?
My book is a book called Exit Wounds by Ruto Moden. It could be so many ways to pronounce the name.
Ruto Moden.
So it is about this guy called Kobe who lives in Tel Aviv, which I believe is in Israel. She's Israeli, the author. And he is going about his business one day, and a woman shows up on his doorstep and says, "Hi, I know your dad. I think he might have been a victim in a suicide bombing. There was... It happened in this place. Everyone's seen it on the news. There's a 5th body. I think it might have been him. I've got some reasons why I think it might be him." And so then they go... The whole book is essentially them trying to work out whether it was his father that had died. So it's that. It is also a sort of meditation on Tel Aviv and living in that place and what that's like. Also, there is a lot of family in this. As we go on, we get to learn more about his dad and his past with his dad and how that affects him today, and sort of he's not really into it at first. He doesn't care that much about his dad. And then also inevitably this woman that shows up, there is a sort of love story present along with the ride. Super fantastic. Really, really wonderful. It's got the style reminds me of Tintin.
Yeah, I was getting that vibe from the cover.
What's the artist? Who does Tintin?
Do not even ask me that. That's,
Oh God.
I'm not even going to try and remember.
It's like one word. It's like one name. It's like Shah.
Blah.
I'll think
Shaft.
of it. I'll think of it.
Shaft.
I'll think of it at some point during the episode. But it
Shut your mouth, you bear.
it
I
has,
did it wrong around.
It has that sort of vibe to it.
Shut your mouth.
It's very, very simplistic. It reminds me a lot of Jerusalem by Guy Delisle. You know, the layouts. It's very structured in that sense.
Yeah.
It's structured also in 4 acts. And at first, the art can take a bit of getting used to sort of find the humanity in it. But eventually, it really, really did take me in. There's a scene where they have sex. There's a sex scene in this. Which is so, with this art style, this sort of childish, nostalgic art style, it works so well.
Yeah.
Like, there's something very, very powerful, and it's quite graphic as well, and yet the simplistic art style kind of contains throughout. It's a wonderful read. It's a wonderful sort of road trip book. It's you constantly want to know what happens. Again, it's very subtle. There's a lot in it. It can be reread. I would definitely recommend it.
Of all the kind of indie books that you've talked about on this segment, that one sounds like the one I want to read the most, and I want to give a go. Cool. All right. So my last book. Some people remember in the Q&A, someone asked us who our favourite artists were. I said Jack Kirby is my favourite artist, and I always wanted to own a book by Kirby, or something Kirby-wise, because I didn't have anything on my shelf. Well, now I do. I popped onto my local comics shop, and in their second-hand sale, they had the masterworks of Fantastic Four Volume 1. So it's issues 1 to 10 of the original Fantastic Four, which was printed in 1968, which Dale's going to confirm right now. To be honest, I just want 1962. 61 even. Well, there you go. I got that wrong. But anyway, so it's the original Fantastic Four. Needs no introduction, really. You all know who they are. And I love it.
Yeah?
I love it. More so to look at than to read. But I do love it. However, in saying that, people slag off Stan Lee a lot these days. We did a whole segment on who really created... who's the creator of a comic, and we talked about Stan Lee Ditko, and I want to say we brought up Stan Lee and Jack Kirby as well, but I honestly can't remember. And he's often discredited for his writing, but I think that is not fair, because he has some great moments of writing. One that I will show you right now. In fact, part of me wants you to read it along with me. I don't know how this is going to work, by the way. Right, let me just find the bit here. Okay, so, set the scene for you. Reed Richards, he wants to take this ship that hasn't been properly tested, he wants to fly it off. Ben Grimm turns around to him and he's like, if you want to fly to the stars, then you pilot the ship. Count me out. We haven't done enough research into the effects of cosmic rays. They might kill us all out in space. And then Sue Richards says,
Ben, we've got to take that chance unless you want the commies to beat us to it.
60s.
I never thought that you would be a coward.
A coward? No one calls me a coward. Get in the ship! I'll fly her no matter what happens. Is that not just the most base level psychology? I love it. The way Sue's just like, I ain't flying that ship. We haven't done the research. You're a coward. Fuck you. Get in the ship. And I honestly cannot tell you the amount of times in the first 5 issues alone Reed Richards has to restrain the thing because he's just he's like some guy on steroids. There's this amazing bit where they're hiding in a cabin. Honestly, don't know why they're in this cabin. They appear there, and the scroller going around impersonating them, and you know, they all see it on the radio. They hear it on the radio. God, it's fucking old, isn't it? They hear it on the radio that the Fantastic Four are going around, and Ben Grimm starts all getting rolled up, and everyone's like, all right, what we need to do is we need to fight. And he's just like, no! Rips a bear's head off the window and just throws it through the window. There is no rhyme or reason for it.
It reminds me of the clock scene in the early, early
in that Batman book. Little in joke. God, no one's going to get that. And one of my favourite things is how they wrap every episode up, every issue up. So these Skrull, they can morph into anything. They're like, look, we don't even want to be Skrull anymore. We just, we just want to live in peace on this planet. And so Reed Richards says, so be it. I will tell you what to change into, and I will hypnotize you so that you will forget your previous identities and you'll remain what you have become. When did Reed Richards get the ability to hypnotize? It's just such a matter of hypnosis. Turns them into cows, by the way.
But you should do a fucking series where you recap these Fantastic Four stories.
My main point is with these books is they're just so endearing. You know, you read things like that and they just make you laugh. And you're not even laughing at it. You're almost laughing with it. You're like, this is just so fun. So much fun. So lighthearted. And so, I mean, you're a coward. Get in the shit.
Oh, Cohen.
I love it. So I would seriously suggest picking up, I know you want to pick up the volume 1 of the Spider-Man Masterworks, and I would really suggest people picking these up because, I mean, this is $12 in the States, which makes it about £10 in the UK. I know conversions, it doesn't really work, but that's how much they are on Amazon. And they're really good quality. You get over 200 pages of solid book in this. And yes, it can be a bit of a slog to read through sometimes, but those single moments, I mean, watching the Submariner 1 second go, I will destroy the world, and then the next going, hey Sue, how's you doing? It's great. Absolutely great. So yeah,
Submariner Joey Tribbiani.
all of a sudden, yeah. So yeah, seriously, pick up the Fantastic Four Masterworks and pick up all the different Masterworks of your favourite characters.
Lovely. That's all from us today. Let us know what you've been reading down in the comments below. We've several times people have suggested things that we've gone out and bought and then talked about in this segment. So
also, quickly, just wanted to throw in. Can you let us know in the comments how you would feel about an episode based around kids comics? Because we recently got a comment on the channel. Someone wanted some recommendations. What's a good kids comic to read? So if people are interested in seeing an episode on that, please let us know.
Cool. Until then, we will see you next time.
Fuck you. Get in the shit.